again and welcome back to my channel. So a lot of you were asking about how I tie my head wraps into a bow. This isn't entirely 1940s accurate. Styles back then were a lot more turban-esque, a lot more wrapping. The bow is kind of a bit much to try to get into low-hanging doorways, but I think it kind of captures the style essence of the 40s of just bringing a lot of attention to your face, your accessories. Whenever you can't wear a hat, it's really casual, and let's be honest, a lot of vintage styles call for you to straighten or curl or tuck your hair in some way, and we don't always have the time for that, right? So today I'm going to show you two of my favorite looks that are vintage inspired that you can do when you just need to cover your hair or when you just don't have time, but you still kind of want to get the look. First, you will need a head wrap. Any kind of scarf or bandana will do, just so long as it's square shaped. Any other type of shape can still work, but it's just a little bit trickier and will fold in a different kind of way, if that makes sense. So we're going to be starting with a square. I don't know the dimensions of the one I'm wearing right now, but I will link that down in the description box below. So let's get started. The first thing you want to do is fold your head wrap into, or scarf, into a triangle shape. You should have the top corners together, and sorry if I'm not always looking in the viewfinder, I have my mirror behind. So look like that. And then you're gonna put the long flat edge towards the nape of your neck. With the triangle pointy end wherever you want your bow to be. I'm going to just tie a simple shoelace knot, and you kind of want the back of the scarf to be pulled a little bit taut. If it's loose, it's not a bad thing, but it will be harder to tuck in the edges. So then you're left with the tail here, and you're going to want to make sure that's flat. Make sure both sides are laying flat. And what I do is I kind of incorporate this the tail end into one of my bow sides. So I'm going to choose this side, and I just pull it to the front and cover it and flatten it over so that it makes one half of the bow. And see, I kind of make the bow shape right now. And then I take the other side and wrap it around, and you're just doing a regular shoelace bow. Turn it that way. And you just make a shoelace bow. And then you take the other side and you kind of make it fan out like the other one. And then you tuck in like this right here, the other tail, stuff like that. You want to tuck under. Got some more right there. And you just kind of keep adjusting until it has the shape that you want. Just keep fiddling with it, and it can go over your ears, behind. I find that it stays better throughout the day if you sort of do midway, like halfway. So there you go, and that's a bow. For the next style, you're doing the same thing. You're getting that square shape to start from and making a triangle. So I have my triangle here. And this is what I would just call a basic wrap without the bow. I would just kind of call this like your standard 1940s inspired head wrap. There's no, I can't do a turban, a proper 1940s turban just yet, so I can't give you a tutorial on that one, but this is kind of how I do it if I kind of want the turban look without the fuss of the bow. So you do the same thing. When you get to the step where you're pulling that end of the triangle tail, you, instead of folding it into your tying tails, you kind of roll it on itself like it's a hair curler. So sometimes I use my fingers and just wrap it. Take my finger out, roll, roll, roll. So it's like that. Tie the ends, and I sort of tie the ends loosely to the back so that it kind of holds this front roll in place. And then again, like with the bow, you want to take your sides and tuck them in any exposed fabric and tuck those in. And then you have your two tails here, right? So what do we do with those since we're not making a bow or anything? You have a couple of options. You can tie it again in a knot, a chain knot, and just keep tying and then tuck in your tails. So it makes kind of a knot like that. Oh, and then also, if you get those little points, you want to tuck those in so it's nice and round and not triangle. Yeah. So you can do that, and then that's the look. You can just walk out your door. That's perfectly fine. But I'd like to kind of tuck in the tails a little bit more. So I like it to be a little bit less triangle-y at the top. So I take my tails and tuck them into the rest of the scarf. So it's like that. And that is the second plain head wrap style. So that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I wanted to give you guys a short video after my first one was super long. So this one's just a quick tutorial. As you can see, I have a different background. I've been doing a lot of stuff just in my personal life, a lot of moving around, and I have not yet picked out a dedicated sewing / filming space. So you might see the background change a couple of times before I figure out like what's a good space, what has decent light, what's not recording an echo in the room. But just bear with me, it'll settle down after a little bit. So let me know if you have any other ideas for like mini tutorials you want to see or anything like that in the comments down below, and I will leave all the information about what's on my head, what's on my face, all that stuff will be down in the description box below as well. So until the next video, thanks for watching. So in the can't talk. So thanks.